Hello friends, welcome into NFL Daily presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I am your host Tom Downey, back with some more NFL rumors as we move through into the NFL offseason. Of course, there's playoffs too, but for a lot of teams, it's the offseason. So we'll start things off with the Antonio Brown drama because things just aren't going to get any better, it seems like. Now, we mentioned how there could be an Antonio Brown trade. I said I didn't really buy it, and the contract is a big reason why there. If you try to trade Antonio Brown, you are eating $21.1 million in dead money. Now, yeah, you can make it after a post 6-1 trade and spread it out, but you're saving like no money if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. And typically, you don't see teams trade away a multi-time All-Pro, one of the 5 best at their position, and save no money. And if you're going to do a post-June 1st trade, you're not going to get the picks this year. That's a big problem there. So I don't think you're going to end up seeing an Antonio Brown trade. I simply don't. It's not going to stop the speculation, but I would be stunned if Pittsburgh actually moved Antonio Brown. I just don't consider it likely whatsoever. By the way, I had a poll on Twitter, @WhatGoingDowney. Who creates more silly drama, the Steelers or the Kardashians? The Steelers won that vote 73% to 27%. The people aren't wrong. The Steelers right now are filled with drama, as producer Dominique, a Steelers fan, gives me a nasty side-eye glare. All right, folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Here's how you can get an NFL jersey. Go sign up and deposit with BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. So you put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free, and then go DM us on Twitter @chatsports, and we'll get you guys hooked up with an NFL jersey. Again, chatsports.com/bet. The promo code is LIVE120. Then use that 120% deposit bonus, and then we'll give you an NFL jersey. It's the best deal out there. All right, some more trade problems here for Fournette. And could there be a Leonard Fournette trade? Because there are clearly issues involved here. There's no doubt there. The Jags have voided the guaranteed money on Leonard Fournette's contract. And it seems that there's at least enough buzz around there that the Jags and Fournette are trending towards a divorce. There's been some reports from the local Jacksonville media that he didn't know the playbook, that he wasn't the most committed guy. Now that you've voided the guaranteed money, you can trade him. Now, a release feels unlikely. I don't see that happening, but it does indicate, hey, people, hey, we voided his guaranteed money. Why don't you come trade for him? And Fournette this year was not very good. One of the biggest fantasy busts that actually played all 16 games. Thanks, Lev Bell. 133 carries, about 3.3 yards per carry. That's not going to get the job done. Your VP of football ops and Tom Coughlin publicly ripped Fournette. At the very least, you're going to need some marriage counseling there. In the end, the two sides just might decide to get divorced. There's been some buzz. The Jags could blow up the entire roster. Maybe Fournette will be in that discussion because the offense is supposed to be built around him. That wasn't actually the case this year. So we'll see what happens there with Fournette, but things aren't looking all that great between him and the Jags. So we'll see what happens there. If he does get traded, I do think there's value. I really do think there's value for Leonard Fournette. So what should the Jags do with him? Should they trade him? Should they keep him? Let me know in the comment section. I think you keep him. Let's give him one more year and try to make him once again the focal point of your offense, which I think we all know he can and really should be. I love him coming out of LSU, but he's got to get things back on track if you're Jacksonville. All right, we're not done yet with the NFL trade rumors because welcome to the offseason after all. How about Odell Beckham and the 49ers? Pro Football Talk says the Niners could make a trade for Odell Beckham, and they have the picks and the cap space. And Odell Beckham is on a 5-year, $90 million deal, but let's not forget, that deal is fairly tradable. The way it's structured, if you're the Giants, you can afford to trade him. Of course, you need quite a bit back. But this one doesn't exactly feel all that likely. We'll take you now to our next rumor around Odell Beckham because much like the Antonio Brown one, I'm not buying this one either. I don't think the Giants will trade Odell Beckham. And GM Dave Gettleman says the exact same thing. We didn't sign Odell Beckham just to trade him a year later. This isn't Madden. Teams don't end up doing that. Now, he says Odell will be on the Giants roster next year, but much like Antonio Brown, this is not going to stop the speculation. There's going to be buzz around an Odell Beckham trade. I can pretty much promise you that one. Now, If you're the Giants, why would you trade away your best player unless you're getting a massive haul in return? Yeah, there's been some issues with OBJ and the Giants. I'll be surprised if a trade does go down. You lose Odell Beckham. Your top guys are Sterling Shepard. Cody Latimer's a free agent, though he made some nice plays down the stretch. Benny Fowler, Russell Shepard are free agents. Corey Coleman is an RFA. You're probably just going to keep Odell Beckham, maybe even go draft a smaller slot receiver this year as well. So what should the Giants do with OBJ? Type K for keep, type T for trade. It's a no-brainer for me. You keep Odell Beckham, you find a better quarterback than Eli Manning, you keep investing in the offensive line, get some more defensive help, and I know that's a lot, but you got some pieces around New York to at least have some success overall going forward. Again, folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet, use promo code LIVE120, and that'll give you a 120% deposit bonus. So you put down $50, they're going to give you $64 free. And then DM us on Twitter @chatsports, and we'll send you guys an NFL jersey, a legit NFL jersey for $50 plus $60 for free to bet with on BetDSI. You guys aren't going to find a better deal out there than the one on BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code LIVE120. Now, this one kind of more of an NFL news item, but the charges have been dropped against Reuben Foster. That's from TMZ, who initially reported that. Says that, again, the case has been dropped, stems from insufficient evidence, with much of that being stemmed to the fact that prosecutors didn't think that the victim was going to be trustworthy. Again, it was the same one who initially accused Reuben Foster of domestic violence way back when. So there's reason to think that there's some witness credibility here. The NFL has not yet announced a discipline decision or plan for Reuben Foster. He has been suspended in the past for a previous case, the original case, I should say. I think you're going to see another discipline coming here. The discipline decision coming here for Reuben Foster. So, how many games should he be suspended? Let me know in the comments section. I'm sure I know what Cowboys fans are going to say, and many others. It's got to be the 6 minimum, right? At minimum. Because, yes, there are witness credibility issues, but we've seen the NFL do this before. They are not bound to the same beyond a reasonable doubt circumstances that the justice system is. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. All right, next up, Dwayne Haskins. Is he going to turn pro? This one makes sense, and it does indeed seem very likely. Pro Football Talk says Dwayne Haskins is expected to turn pro, and duh, right? Had a great year for Ohio State. Was a Heisman Trophy finalist. Now, he has not yet announced his decision, but he is the top quarterback prospect in a rather bad class. So if you're Dwayne Haskins, go pro. Yeah, you can help your stock by coming back to Ohio State in terms of your overall play. If Dwayne Haskins goes pro, I think he will be a top 5 pick, top 10 pick at minimum. The Giants and Jags need quarterback help at the top. I think those are two of the most likely options to draft Dwayne Haskins. But look, Haskins is going to go early. As great as it is being a college quarterback, being the big man on campus, go pro. Get that top 5, top 10 pick NFL draft money. He won't regret it at all. So let me know in the comment section what team you think will draft Dwayne Haskins. I think it'll end up being either A, the Giants, B, the Jags are the top 2 options, and spoiler alert, a rumor I guarantee you will hear, even though there might not be any truth to it, that the Raiders like Dwayne Haskins. Because all the teams drafting before the Giants and the Jags, well, they want other teams to trade up above them. So if you're the Cardinals or the Niners, you're going to end up leaking that. The Jets might do it as well. So, but to see that rumor coming up in the coming weeks and or months. All right, folks, today's show is brought to you by, or I'm wearing Mizzen and Main, excuse me, Comfortable.af. That's the site right there. Go check them out, Comfortable.af. You guys are not going to find a more comfortable dress shirt than a Mizzen and Main shirt. I tend to sleep in these things, and they make me look even passable here on air. All right, one last player-based rumor here for you. Grady Jarrett, is he going to get an extension? The Falcons, rather vocally today, said they were going to make Grady Jarrett a priority. The quote was that he is really our priority to see how things go forward. Now, I also was asked about Julio Jones and Vic Beasley. They weren't quite as effusive in their praise of Vic Beasley. I'm referring to Thomas Dimitroff here, the Falcons GM. They weren't quite as vocal on that end. So I think you'll see a Grady Jarrett extension happen. I wouldn't even rule out a franchise tag if it ends up coming down to that. I think it just makes sense in the end for the Falcons to find a way to keep Grady Jarrett. Either way, because if their win kind of hurt them in draft position, I think we'll see them draft another defensive tackle very quickly or in the NFL draft. You can always get more depth there. I love Grady Jarrett. I think he'll be back with the Falcons next year.